early than late.
Exactly.
We seem to be live.
Nice.
And now I just got an option to share it in one of Greek Goes Keto groups. So,
Welcome everybody.
how's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Are we? Is this us?
Yes.
Great, so we'll be
So
monitoring.
handling questions. I think this is way much better.
Ketonians actually don't expect us to be so early live, but we are here in a Christmassy corner or Illusiona corner, let's call it.
Exactly.
Celebration, whatever you are celebrating this year in December. And we will be talking about what to celebrate in December. It's actually a great paragraph in the latest article published at Greek Goes Keto website. We would like to invite you to go and check it out. It talks about Christmas and winter festivity beverages. By the way, I'm having a glass of one of those. Here it is. Yes, it is keto. And if you have been following Greek Goes Keto, you know that sea buckthorn is totally keto, and it's totally okay to consume it daily after a meal. For example, for me, it's after my dinner now. You also had a glass today.
Yeah, definitely. I had a glass. Together I ate my typical patties, the veal patties, with a glass of sea buckthorn. I think it was something that I needed because due to we have a really low temperatures, vitamin C deficiencies usually we can see around these times. So I think sea buckthorn, it was something that I needed, and always we have really quality.
C.
Yeah.
400 milligrams of vitamin C per 30 milliliters of juice, which is like 3 tablespoons. So you just need 3 tablespoons and the rest is water. Interestingly, we found in the bottle that this sea buckthorn has, this concentrated sea buckthorn juice has, how much? Like 1 gram of carbohydrate.
Yes.
Total.
In 100, yeah.
Which means it's totally keto.
Yeah.
Not only low carb, it's keto.
Usually you're gonna add 1 tablespoon or even 2 tablespoons, which is approximately 14 grams. It's a tablespoon. You will not have no 0.1 carbohydrates. This is really low. Nick says Kalimera from Canada. Hello, Nick.
Kalimera, Kalispera.
Kathleen says can't hear you. I hope you can hear us. I don't know.
Okay, guys, we are sorry if you can't hear us. Maybe to try.
I don't know. Let us know. Somebody else.
Hello.
Richard's
I
here.
really love
The sweater
the
says.
sweater. Oh, thank you. I had to wear it. Well, it's our live. It's actually the last live before Christmas because Christmas will be already gone on next Sunday. So we wanted to make something special for this evening. As you know, we are tonight celebrating, actually tomorrow, but tonight, winter solstice, which there's a beautiful astronomical phenomena in the sky. If you can see it, if you live in the northern hemisphere, and if you happen to be somewhere where it's clear and there are no clouds in the sky, you will be able to see the great conjunction of Jupiter and I think it's Saturn. Yeah, Saturn. And those 2 planets actually are like over flipping each other, and it appears like a huge star in the sky. It's a great astronomical phenomenon which actually happens every 400 or 500
It's an eclipse. Let's call it an eclipse, yeah.
And it looks like a very bright, so if you want, call it a Christmas star. If you want, call it the Pneumonia star, or whatever represent the new beginning. Definitely for the ancient Greeks, this time, December, around 21st, which is tomorrow, represented the beginning of new year, new cycle, new expectation of summer. And as we know, summer represents life, while winter represents opposite from life. So we are looking forward to summer 2021, when Greek Goes Keto will be hosting, well, we are still hoping that everything will be okay, and our American friends and family members will be able to come to Greece to attend first Keto Mediterranean retreat this summer in Greece. So a lot of things to look forward and hope for the best, because if you are only seeing the bad things from the previous year, and the year was difficult for many people, then it's going to be difficult for
the
you.
entire planet would say it was really difficult.
Exactly.
Dave is here. Hello, Dave. Says
How
Richard
is
Madden,
she?
they are very festive. Yeah,
Yes.
indeed we are.
We have to be festive a little bit. It's the time of being happy, surrounded with the people you love. And there in the article I mentioned earlier, we are talking about humans as social beings. We are social beings, aren't we?
Of course we are.
We love to socialize, we love to talk to you guys, we love to hear feedback from you. We especially love when somebody makes something from Greek Goes Keto recipes and posts it, sends it in our group or even on the page Greek Goes Keto. So this is when we can celebrate the success of good ketonization. Ketonization is a process where we are creating a beautiful dish, a beautiful, well, even dessert, even a treat. Well, it's a festive time, so there will be a lot of treats, but with extremely low carbs and with only good natural ingredients which our environment can
You can find everything at greekgoesketo.com, guys. You know how is it going. Go to the search option, just add the keyword there, and you can find everything. Catherine says too cloudy in Athens at the moment.
Too cloudy, that's the reason you can't see. But tomorrow, still, the Great Conjunction actually will be most visible tomorrow, immediately after the sunset, when the night gets dark, when the night sky gets darker. You know this period in between dark and like twilight. Look at the, well, this would be southwest, yes, southwest in your location where you are, look, and you will see not far away from the moon, you will see the Great Conjunction. You can call it a Christmas star, you can call it a bright star of new beginnings. Just it's an astronomical phenomenon which we all have to really celebrate and have it as a symbol of human willpower, human togetherness. The same like these two planets are coming together. They're just physically not near to each other, but to us it appears they're coming together. This could be a symbol to all of us that we have to come together. And only together we can overcome depression, feeling bad, all the things which actually made us sad or made us feeling bad, sick. There's a lot of problems with health around the globe, and those we want to talk about another epidemic or pandemic.
Pandemic, yeah, epidemic.
Not the COVID. We want to talk about the pandemic of obesity, diabetes, and autoimmune disease. So we are fighting against those things, but naturally we're trying to help people all around the globe get in touch with their ancestral way of eating, ancestral way of living. When people live healthier and happier, right?
Exactly.
Today you published a great video on your Greek channel, and I love the subject. While we were recording it, all the time I was doing this, yes, yes, I was so behind the camera, and I was so proud of him. So please, could you talk a little bit about it? What you said to the Greeks today?
To the Greeks, we talked about detoxification from sugar. I think this is the first step that everyone takes when wants to start, at least with Keto Mediterranean dieting. It's really important to get rid of those old habits that we have because sugar is hidden literally everywhere. So a lot of people, we said that they are getting, actually they're ravenous, you know, they're completely hungry all the time they want to consume and rapidly change their, they have mood swings, they're changing emotions. This is again a hormonal problem, and the sugar is connected with the hormones. That's the reason here at KMD we're not, we don't care actually about calories or about macros and all those stuff that put us literally in a box and give us guidelines. I don't like guidelines. I like real food, solid food that comes straight from nature. This is what I really need. This is what needs our body, our hormones. Hormones are steroids, and all these steroids in order, not steroids that take athletes and bodybuilders and all that, but steroids that are created in our body from the cells. And in order those cells to create those steroids, those hormones, they need pro-hormones, which are the vitamins. Vitamin, for example, D is not a vitamin, it's a pro-hormone, which means it's going to help to create, it's a coenzyme, it's going to create those hormones. In order to obtain vitamin D, because we can see people who are consuming a lot of sugar, they're depleted in vitamin D, and of course they have deficiencies in all those vitamins and minerals. So it's really mandatory, again, we're going to say, to consume animal-based food that contains vitamins, let's say fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, in order to absorb, again, all this calcium that we're consuming and keep it in our bones, and not to have osteoporosis, for example, we're going to need to consume vitamin K to keep calcium in the bone. It's, again, mandatory. We need to understand that we need to throw away all those products that even maybe they're labeled as keto and contain sugar or starch or any other component that makes it harmful for our health. A lot of people keep saying to me, you know, for example, honey. What about honey? It's really healthy, comes from the nature, and some Greeks keep saying to me that they're utilizing honey for their
traditional
blah, blah, blah,
for the Mediterranean people.
It's a really good point, but we need to understand that honey is pure fructose. And since we're going to understand that concept, we're going to understand that fructose is metabolized in our liver. Since we're going to see under the microscope what is going on, we're going to understand that the main cause of fatty liver and fatty pancreas and all this, let's call it visceral fat, is due to overconsumption of fructose. We're going back and we say, since when we had to consume honey and all those stuff, because let's talk
high
about
fructose
exactly.
fruits.
It has to do again with the availability. Ancient Greeks didn't have honey any moment anywhere. This is the difference. Now you're going to the cafe to drink coffee or tea, and they're giving you honey. You can go to the store in the corner, you can find honey. It's not seasonal anymore. It's really important to understand that we need to consume stuff that are on season, and some things that are out of season, we cannot consume them. We cannot have nuts all year round, because nuts are only during autumn, for example. And we said they're there because they're doing lipogenesis. They're actually can add weight. They cannot metabolize fat. It's really important to understand. They're going to increase our triglycerides.
Read a little bit the comments.
Darlene is here. Good morning, says. Good morning, Darlene. Says you both look great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We hope everybody else is also looking and feeling great, and if not, by following Greek Goes Keto postulates, we are 1,000,000% sure you will also look and feel great. So, is Paulita with us finally?
Yeah, she's watching, says just...
I know, Paulita, we were a little bit late.
Earlier.
Sorry.
Yeah, we were early.
We were early, and this is why you feel like you are late. But no, you know, we felt actually inspired. We went out, did our big festivity shopping, and we had tea and coffee in a cafe, and we said, I feel inspired. Let's go back home, do our dinner, and let's do the live so we can express all these great feelings that we are feeling today. We had a beautiful day with a lot of sunshine. As you can see on Greek Goes Keto, we posted both on Instagram and here on Facebook our morning sunrise, and it was a great productive day. We had a lot of contacts with people who, especially on Twitter, you received a couple of questions, and I'm going to ask you now those questions. So I will be able to share this video on Twitter with those who asked. Not everybody uses the same social media, so some people are on Twitter, some are on Instagram, some are also on Parler. So whatever social media
platform,
you are using, or maybe your friends or family members are using, and you think they should hear what Greek Goes Keto has to say, then please be kind and share this video. The video will be posted later, so everybody will be able to rewatch it in case they were not able to watch it at the time.
Darlene says my vitamin D has been toxic for the past 9 months, so I have stopped taking it.
Okay.
And I have been reading that taking biotin can give you false readings in some tests. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
especially if there are those synthetic supplements.
Maybe speak up a little bit if they can't hear us.
It can really, as you said, make false readings, and especially when we're talking about blood exams, that usually you can see difference. If you're gonna do blood exams every day, you're gonna have different readings. So you need to understand all those factors, especially if you're gonna eat something really fatty like a lamb before your and drink a lot of coffee before your exams. Your triglycerides maybe is gonna really show up, for example, and all those stuff. All those factors keep changing, and always has to do with what we're consuming several hours before that. And those supplements, because they're synthetic and they have chemical compounds inside, definitely can.
Definitely no
yeah,
synthetic supplements. This is why Greek Goes Keto is totally natural. The only supplement we are taking is cod liver oil, which you took. Or you forgot? You'll take it later.
Yeah, I will take later. Anyway, I'm gonna have to eat my eggs. Always I'm combining eggs. Loads of vitamin D for me there. Paula's a beautiful sweater, Roberta.
Thank you. I appreciate all the nice words we are hearing from our Ketonians. Richard had a comment. Morning, Paula. That was
morning, Paula. Yeah. It's.
Okay, yeah. I can see Richard's icon. I mean his avatar. I know Richard's avatar by heart, and I'm happy to see it. So, do I know many of your other avatars here? I love to see some known names and some new ones. So, we maybe went live a little bit earlier, and Facebook still has not sent notifications.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock.
But we would go live now. It's now 6, right?
Yeah, it's now 6 o'clock. That really doesn't matter. And what I wanted to say is especially now, because there are coming all those festivities, you need to stay on track and try to utilize all your keto knowledge and keto recipes that you can find and create something unique, something that's gonna keep you, not to stay in ketosis. I don't think so. This is the most important, ultimate factor, but to do it healthy. Utilize healthy ingredients. I think this is what we really stand for, to utilize healthy ingredients that they can promote,
organic,
have,
fresh,
health benefits.
if it's possible to be locally produced. Well, when I say locally, I just met my goat farmer and ordered some goat butter and goat milk, and I'm making goat cream out of this goat milk. It's very easy, but those things are not always available in every part of this planet. So whatever you can, try to take something from a small producer, from a farm if it's possible. If not, then from a really small company, because pharma and pharmaceutical and food industry products always come with a big but. When you buy a product from a huge company, even though it's labeled keto, can be labeled as healthy, organic, bio, they're putting all those labels. Chances are they're adding some artificial additives, some chemical compounds which are not quite well, especially doing well. We are not doing well in our gut department, and that's where our immune system is created. So think about each and every product you are buying. Is it coming from a small production or is it coming from a big industry? It plays a role. Many of the big industries actually are labeling their healthy products and advertising a lot. You will see a lot of commercials, and you will see places where those products in supermarket are marketed and where they are sold are usually places which are well seen by anybody coming into supermarket.
Exactly.
So even if you are a Ketonian and even if you are really watching what you're buying, you will fall in a trap of buying industrial.
And it's really sad because the majority of the people really don't know to read those labels, and especially those ingredients. It's really important to start getting some knowledge about all those chemical compounds, because it's going to be really useful in the future. All those products, they keep adding those components, and you're going to have to know what you should avoid and what you should maybe take to your basket and translate home. It's really important.
So let me read some comments.
Okay.
I took iPad from Apollonius because I was scared it's going to fall from your knee. Okay, so let's see. We have the Lynch who says, I picked up 7 dozen hen eggs and 1 dozen duck eggs yesterday from the farmer. Now that's what we are talking about. You maybe live in United States, which is the biggest country in the world, and maybe it's difficult to find farms or some products from small companies, but still it's possible. Darlene just proved it, Paula is doing it, I'm sure also Richard is doing it in different parts of the United States.
No matter where or what, you can do KMD. That's it, that's the trick, that you can do KMD.
So Deb, or Deeb, as we like to call her, we love you, Deeb, and thank you so much for being with us. Actually, you are spending your summer break. She lives in the southern hemisphere. Unfortunately, you cannot see the great conjunction this evening, or tomorrow evening, but well, you are enjoying your beautiful New Zealandese summer, and we are sure that you're spending a lot of time outdoors. So, she says, I will be making my Greek Goes Keto lamp for Christmas.
Yes.
Kleftico, that's exactly what we're gonna make.
We
will be making the same recipe every year. We are making it, and it's always a hit. We love it, our visitors love it. Ketonians or not?
Yeah,
Ketonians,
actually we made, how many times? We made maybe 3 or 4 times. The last 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know.
We've been practicing.
Yeah, for Christmas.
We love it.
Yeah, I adore it, not love it.
I picked up a box of lamb legs today that I ordered directly from a friend. Now, here is another example. In New Zealand, you can order directly from a farm.
That's it.
It has 10-12 legs for my freezer. Now, that's the way. Bravo.
Yeah.
But be sure to totally defrost it before making it. Lamb gets very weird if you don't do that before baking it. So I know that you know this.
I love those legs.
Exactly.
Top quality.
Richard said, knowing that eating in the spirit of our ancestors, or no, ancients, Keto Mediterranean diet is difficult to read because we are very colorful and the letters are white. Is freeing to know that you are covered nutritionally and don't even need to consider chemical supplements. It's very freeing. Yes, it's liberating. I prefer this term. It's totally liberating.
I would say psychologically, it's the same things happening with sugar, you know.
Cheta is with us, Vojlika or Vojlisa Cheta. I remember she's from Kosovo. How are you doing? We haven't seen you in our lives recently. She says, looking awesome, thank you. I'm loving your Christmas vibe, Roberta, and charming as ever. Thank you. Great background, lots of love to you both. Yes, lots of love, and you know, we love to send these happy vibes, and we love to interact with the
positive vibes, always, yeah.
Tina is with us. Hello, Tina, to you.
Hi, Tina.
She's from London, and you know how much I love London. You do know. She says, I miss you guys. So good to hear your beautiful voice again. You both look fantastic. I try to talk like Londoner. I can't do it properly, but properly, yeah. You are doing it perfectly. So, Tina, how's your Christmas? I hear some sad news from United Kingdom with the lockdown and with people being restricted to go eat outside, because it's a huge tradition there to go outside to the restaurants, to clubs and pubs. But what to do? We have to actually get used to the new situation, and we have to make it good for us. Well, if it's at home with friends, wherever you will be, we hope you're going to have a great time. So,
it's going to be slightly
lockdown.
different.
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of friends, and I follow a lot of people on Twitter. So, British people from different parts of the United Kingdom, but mainly in London is this feeling of lockdown is making people depressed. They also lack sun. So this is another thing.
It's really hard. I understand that.
It's difficult to spend the winter in those northern countries, so we have to help ourselves with nutrition, with the proper mental training, and also physical training. Those things are closely interlaced, and they work synergetically, and that's how you are actually getting better. That's how you're healing from inside out. So,
and I would say when it comes to physical training, lately a lot of people are really sick. doing physical training, because it's not only that you are, physical training is the one part, but since your nutrition lacks a lot of stuff, just nutrients, and you're utilizing all those synthetic supplements, and of course some of them using even steroids, because it puts you in this mindset of that you are in need of those stuff, and you become dependent on those stuff, and it's really, really can harm your health, not only as an individual, but also you can harm other people, because you're gonna be not friendly. You constantly want, for example, to eat a meal because you have to eat every 2 hours. You're gonna have to utilize supplements. You're gonna become aggressive towards people maybe that you love, and this creates a really, I would say, a black hole around you and around the people that they are with you. And we really need to take precautions and be careful what choices we're doing. This physical training can lead us to really narrow and nasty paths, which they don't have to give us anything in return. It's just giving us you're obsessed about just to train, to grow your muscles, and to look good, but unfortunately inside you're rotten. I passed through that, and it's really sad when you're just looking back and you see that you have to eat so often, and utilizing this chicken breast and broccoli for this non-quality food, you understand?
Omega-6 loaded.
Yeah. Constantly have inflammation all over the body, and suddenly you're going KMD, and it's another universe, not just world, just another universe. It's really, I'm saying it very often, but I think we need to take care of ourselves, not only of ourselves, but and the people that are around us, and slowly to change that bad habits.
So, let me know, is your name Cheta or Volita? I don't know which one of these is the first, which one is last name. So, how would you like me to call you? You already told me that this is Ch, like we have it in Croatian. I've been missing, she says, many of your lives, guys, but not... she has been watching us on replays. Down to 77 kilos, congratulations. At 46 years, okay, so we are generation, aren't we? The same generation, same years. Probably you've been born also 74 or 75, let me know. From 128 kilos back in 2018, now that's a huge success, congratulations.
Tremendous, yeah. It's
preparing to go KMD
awesome.
In 2021. So KMD is going to change you totally. Richard can tell you all about it, because Richard has been doing keto, and only when he switched to KMD he had enormous results.
Yeah, you can read all those stuff at GreekGoesKeto.com, those testimonials. Richard, Paola, we have Barbara. We have many people actually who
we'll have many more people.
Yeah, experience
we promise
those
that we will be publishing more.
enormous changes, I would say.
Yeah, we will be publishing more testimonials, especially from Apollonas's clients, people who have been working with him on monthly or even several monthly plans, which change each week. Apollonas has a unique approach to working with clients. He changes the plan every week, and he talks to them in a video or audio call every week. So if you are thinking how to do it properly, how to actually have totally healing experience from inside out, consider contacting him. We have a person who will, his personal assistant, Miss Adriana, who is taking care of all Greek Goes Keto messaging system on all platforms, even email. So if you send an email or if you send a message to Greek Goes Keto, she will be scheduling an appointment, video or audio call, so you can be wherever in the world, even in another planet.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have some sort of
but I'm really glad for all those people, because when we started, they had this, feeling that maybe it will not work, and I completely understand that, because they have been fooled many times from.
Just speak up a little.
Yeah, from generally dietitians or nutritionists that will keep promoting 6 or 7 meals a day. It's really important to understand that we cannot have 7 meals a day in order to metabolize fat. If you want to build fat, yes, you can have 7 meals a day. But if you want to metabolize, to burn fat, you cannot have 7 meals a day.
Or simply to lose fat.
To lose fat, yeah. The reason since you're gonna put something into your mouth, you're gonna increase your blood glucose, which means it's gonna come insulin. Goodbye, my love fat burning mode. So
insulin is anabolic.
it is anabolic.
Interesting thing.
It is anabolic. We need the insulin.
Makes you gain both muscle but also fat. So it depends on what you give to your body. Insulin will gain.
When you have anabolism, which is insulin, for example, you have catabolism, which is not to synthesize, but to break in small parts. That it is anabolic, it means you are creating, you are building up, and catabolic is you are decomposed, let's call it. You are actually smashing in small pieces. This is the metabolism, all these two stuff together. And the organism is doing anabolic and catabolic activities. But since we have constantly the hormone, which is a protein actually, insulin is a protein, working all the time, we're creating a problem. And this is, of course, diabetes type 2. Pancreas keep secreting insulin in enormous amounts, which we're reaching the point that it will not work. At some point, it will not work anymore. And this is pretty much normal. It doesn't sound to me something that extraordinary that it will not work. After that, since the pancreas overworking and it's overactive, it's going to burn out, and that means you have diabetes type 1. It doesn't work at all. I'm telling you, it's so simple. Science is not, we think that it's something super complicated. Actually, it's so simple. You need to have really few meals, work your insulin sensitivity. After that, you can go to low carb, maybe if you want to enjoy some fruits or something with carb related. I don't think that this is forbidden, but
very careful not to take GMO sources. Don't take soy, don't take rice, those are...
But you should evaluate your situation. You should really know how to evaluate your situation. If you are still, we have clients who started around, for example, let's talk for pounds, around 350 pounds or 400 pounds. And now they're around 230 to 220. This enormous difference has a huge impact on their lives, the lives of other people that they're seeing them. Still, they cannot believe that just with 1 or 2 meals a day, because you can say to somebody you can have a meal a day. Of course, if I'm gonna have 1 meal a day, I'm gonna starve, I'm gonna lose weight. But when you have just one simple regular meal a day, you're gonna metabolize and burn actually your muscle tissue. This doesn't happen with KMD. This is the difference. You're metabolizing only fat, adipose tissue, and that's the key and the success in the whole KMD package. And that we transfer to those people, we are trying, and they got energized and they believe now KMD. And finally, it's the moment that you say, hey, this person woke up finally, understood that those 7 meals and those carbohydrates, only they can harm them. This is the factor that we are searching, the X factor, let's call it. This is it.
Very well said.
Yeah, that's it. We don't want something else. We want to understand that we eat quality food that our body can utilize and take all those micronutrients, because when we are hungry, we miss those micronutrients, not just, we said the simple electrolytes, but manganese, copper, chromium, molybdenum, all those coenzymes that we need to make all those hormones and small stuff into those cells. Okay,
so Cheta, it is. I'm going to call you Cheta, even though it's your last name. This is what you prefer, because obviously Violica or Violica is not the proper way to pronounce this name. So it's Cheta, and she's born also 1974. Isn't it great, guys?
Your generation,
Age is just a number. It means zero thing if you approach your ketogenic lifestyle, Mediterranean style. So even if you are 70 years old, you can still have top energy and great ideas and creativity. So let's see, she says she's been carnivore mostly in the last 6 months.
Great, that's great.
She has learned around our website most every day, planning the things I'm going to make to fine-tune my health with KMD. KMD is going to help you a lot. I would recommend definitely reading those articles which are pointing the differences between standard keto and keto Mediterranean. So it's helpful, and many people actually get surprised that they can eat more protein. They don't have to eat that much fat as they thought originally, and that it's much more relaxed and pays attention more to micronutrients than macros. So it's a great lifestyle. It's not just a diet.
That's our base, the micronutrients.
Michelle is with us from Wyoming. Thank you for joining us, Michelle.
Hello,
she
Michelle.
says she ordered wild-caught fish and seafood from Alaska. Now that's
Awesome.
the place to take seafood from.
Mm-hmm.
For our Christmas dinner. Can't wait. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to
Happy
you
Christmas.
and your family. Kathleen says, Apollonas, or Apollon, I like how she calls you Apollon, it's very Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Agelos says hi, and he has more energy. Now, guys, to tell you who is Agelos, it's a student of
Hello,
Kathleen.
Agelos.
Kathleen is teaching him English, and Kathleen is very good in teaching people English. And she recommended that Agelos contacts Apollonas in order to help him regain strength, energy, and gain some muscle mass, because Agelos is a young basketball player preparing himself to go to the United States and most probably play basketball there. And we know how difficult it is to play in professional or even amateur clubs of United
really
States.
hard.
So it's demanding, and all those players are masculine and strong, and they can go for hours running. And basketball is one of those explosive sports. That's your sport. You have even won a couple of championships in Greece as a junior basketball player. You have a lot of experience, and you are a tall person with a background in being skinny. Let's call it being not so masculine.
Yeah, usually
So
the
how
tall
you
people
help
have those, let's call it, it's not a problem, but it's genetics, it's they're ectomorphs. There are three, there's ectomorphs, there are mesomorphs and endomorphs. So usually tall people, very tall people, usually they're ectomorphs, which means they have they don't have a lot of muscle tissue, and it's you can perform endurance really well, but when it comes to power and when you want to be explosive, you don't have this ability, so you need to work around your nutrition. With Agelos together, yeah, we're working towards that. I see that he had it very often, for example, hypoglycemia, which is happening to athletes when they don't have a well-designed meal plan. And again, we're talking about carbohydrates. So we see a lot of fruits. Again, we talked about fructose. And fructose, when you are eating, for example, breakfast, you're going to eat 2-3 fruits, and especially an athlete, because it has such a high metabolism due to all these activities, will utilize that fuel, but immediately it's going to have hypoglycemia. He needs again fuel. And for athletes, I told you, you're never going to see a problem into their image, in their body. You're going to see they're low body fat, they're well maintained, blah, 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 but you don't know what is the internal image. And this is what really bothers me, as I told you, even in a world-class level, when I'm seeing world-class nutritionists promoting all those supplements and care only to have some results, the team, for a period of time, and after that those players, when they're going to finish their career, will be destroyed. Which means when a person who is around 35, 40 years old is going to have to make every year medical exams, and because they're going to have some health issue there, maybe kidneys, maybe the liver, from this enormous amount of carbohydrates. And we work towards something else. We want carbohydrates because when we're talking about professional athlete, yeah, we need carbohydrates. And especially not when it's endurance, but when we have this short, explosive activity.
Basketball, football,
exactly. Suddenly you're going to have to sprint, for example. There you need carbohydrates. But how I can fuel that? I can fuel it only with quality carbohydrates and with almost none of fructose. I want to store hepatic glycogen, liver glycogen, and of course muscle glycogen, and that can happen with glucose. And this is, I'm going to utilize, of course, carbohydrates that are not, of course, processed, like, for example, white bread or pasta. I'm going to utilize, or rice, exactly. We're going to utilize something which is complex. More complex is going to have slow release, so we can have maybe 3 meals a day. And
but he even has low carb days, doesn't he?
Yeah,
you
depends.
Low carb
It's going to have, we're going to have those really low carb days when we don't have heavy training. It's important, again, when you don't have heavy training, it's really lighter training. What's the purpose to fuel yourself with the carbohydrates? That's the main purpose of carbohydrate. It's a super fuel that you need to give you energy, a boost the moment of the game, and after that you don't need it. You're good to go. You understand? It's so simple. It works so simple, and you can. For example, I hear nutritionists they need to give to the athletes, for example, post-workout meal immediately some protein and carbohydrates. Okay, why don't blend white fish with some carrots, for example, and something else? I don't know. Just blend that. Yeah, when somebody's 25 years old and it has a 20 million euros salary, will drink it.
He has or she has, yeah.
Yeah, they have. Generally, I'm talking about all those athletes. We're not talking about a generation of 10 or 15 years old of those starter athletes, yeah, who maybe they're gonna make some difficulties. You understand? It's a matter of perspective, a matter of education. Unfortunately, I see even in world class, let's call it level, elite athletes, yeah, and all those stuff, the medical teams or who is behind the scenes, they are not so professional. Unfortunately, they don't care about the health of those athletes and generally of the population.
And that's really another problem that we can talk about actually you should make a video on this, the general misconception of diet for athletes. Because
yeah, this is something enormous. It's
only
super.
doing keto. Guys, why we told you this story about this young athlete? He is certified to do, and recently he even got a certificate for as a clean sports advisor. So as a clean sports advisor, this doesn't only mean that he's going to be against steroids. He's also against industrial supplements that are loaded with bad chemical compounds which are hidden constantly.
You're right. During my education from UKAD, which is the anti-doping in UK, we learned that we educate ourselves that besides all those steroids, it's obvious. This is the obvious. Hello, Lupe. This is the obvious of the steroids. Supplements that you can find in any store, in a grocery store, especially in US, could include in their formula inside some, let's call it again, chemical compounds to be, according to the chemical laws.
FDA approved.
Approved. Could be a substance that is forbidden. Yeah. So an athlete which is 15, 16 years old, when the parent is going to ask, what's that's dust, the powder that you're drinking? It's just a protein powder to grow my muscles. Okay.
Just a gainer.
That's
or just
a gainer.
A burner.
Yeah.
What's a gainer? What's the burner? Read the label, see what's inside.
I don't know. I told you guys, I'm really confused, I would say. I wouldn't say confused, but
disappointed.
Disappointed, yeah.
This is what you told me. And when you saw a video of a professional nutritionist working for a
one very big
famous
club,
club, football club, and the guy was promoting a very bad product. It was a protein that he is giving to all his, and it was youth. I think it was.
It was for the youth, yeah.
Juniors or something like this.
It's protein, okay, I agree, give them protein. But inside had maltodextrin. When this thing has maltodextrin, it seems that sugar, it's really quality compared to maltodextrin. So imagine if I want to consume better to consume sugar than maltodextrin.
And what is maltodextrin? Please explain us.
Maltodextrin is a kind of let's call it again a sugar, so everybody's going to understand, which spikes 2 times more your blood glucose than plain sugar, than white table sugar, sucrose. Imagine somebody who's going to consume for almost every day, for years, maltodextrin, what's going to happen to his liver, pancreas, and all those stuff. Because his image in the mirror maybe looks good, he's an athlete, he's running, he's healthy. That's the misconception. How many athletes we see that, oh, he was looking, why he died, he was looking perfect, you know, he had a great physique, everything, blah, blah. It's not just the image, it's the inside. And I told you guys that I don't want to, let's call it, I don't want to say it, but anyway, again, they're rotten or rusty if you want. I don't want to say something else about it. It's really hard for me. I don't believe that what they've done to the last at least 30 years to just promote and make money over those people.
Interesting comment. comment from Cheta, but we're going to come back to your comment because your comment is huge. We will now answer Darlene's question. She says, does that go for electrolytes too? So electrolytes are naturally present in KMD food. If you are eating and paying attention to micronutrients and intake regularly sea salt, very clean sea salt or whatever type of salt you are taking, enough of food rich in potassium, which is bone broth, which is broth made of seafood shells, such as shrimp shell. If you boil for a couple of hours in low temperature, or even just 1 hour, shells of shrimp, you can find a recipe on Greek Goes Keto. You will intake more than enough of potassium. So, couple of other micronutrients, magnesium, well, you just told me that you are taking hen and duck eggs. Keep the shells, bake them for 10 minutes in the oven, and ground them in a coffee grinder, make them into powder. Add just a tiny bit of tip of the teaspoon into your beverage, your soup, your omelette, whatever you're making, and you will take enough of calcium. Magnesium from sparkling mineral water, if it's a natural spring. If you eat salads which are organic, and especially if you're, for example, consuming pickled salads such as sauerkraut, you will intake enough of magnesium through that also. So think about your nutrition, let it be your source, because unfortunately industrial supplements and especially electrolytes, which are sold like something I can take it at any time, usually contain bad additives in form of
It's not
fillers.
just the additives, guys. I really want you to understand, because I'm going to ask 100 people, and I think in the 100, we're going to ask them what is made from this electrolytes, creatine, BCAAs, protein. From what? They don't know the answer. And this is it. If you're consuming something that you don't know what it's made from, you need to think twice before you're gonna consume it.
Think about your gut health.
Yeah, exactly. It's way much better to consume all those stuff that come from our naturally occurred from our food. And if you are an athlete, then maybe we need to see if you're gonna need a supplementation.
Pharmaceutical grade, extremely clean, and those that don't have long expiration date. If a supplement has extremely long expiration date, that's already a ta-da sound. No, I don't want that. Because in order for something to last long, it means it has to be over-processed, and a lot of things, stabilizers and preservatives have to be added in order to have a long expiration date. So, hello from snowy Ohio. You are having a beautiful snowy Christmas, Susan, and all the best to you and your husband. I can see here probably it's your husband or whoever is it with you in a photo. Okay, so I can save myself lots of money and should throw them all away, definitely, and invest this money in natural beef bones, lamb
Do you know how many lamb legs you can lay with those?
Lamb is extremely high in potassium. For example, when I'm baking lamb, I have to add extra salt. Why do you think I have to add extra salt? Because there's a lot of potassium in lamb. And same goes for natural sources of minerals such as lamb liver, beef liver. If you can find veal liver, it's a treasure.
And if you're not overactive and you don't run, exercise regularly and all those stuff, I think electrolytes, you're going to replenish them easily just by drinking sparkling mineral water and soup.
Natural spring mineral water, have it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm having actually my sea buckthorn juice with natural spring mineral water. It's a great combo. So, Cheta says, what is your opinion on coffee, guys? I remember Roberta mentioning 100% Arabica, but I don't think that's available in Kosovo, unfortunately. Yeah, so if it's not available to you, I wouldn't recommend drinking a lot of Robusta. It's high in caffeine, and it's also high in some other things which are bitter compounds, and they could cause problems. So,
but I think you could order it online
maybe,
and just
or maybe somebody can bring you from Albania, because I know they do have it.
They have 100%, in Albania,
She
or they
said
can
she
send it
quit
from
coffee,
Italy.
which I adore.
Online.
In the last few weeks, but I'd like to hear your opinion on pros and cons. Definitely go for Arabica if you can find. Light roast. This is what we are having.
Yeah, definitely.
She forgot to tell us that she got the infamous virus and that it never descended below the sinuses. Lucky you, and I'm glad to hear it. Probably carnivore helped you there. She had a few nasty headaches for 3-4 days, but nothing more than that.
That's it.
I only took vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc. Zinc is extremely important, and you can intake a lot of zinc from bone broth. Guys, I want you to have throughout the winter bone broth and red meat. Have at least 3 times per week bone broth and something made with good grass-fed red meat. So we are all the time promoting ruminant animal meat. Cod liver oil and melatonin, prescribed by me, of course. Okay. So what other comment we have? Paulita says hi to Susan. They're greeting each other. That's great. Now it's the time for you to answer the question from Twitter. And this person wanted to know, is it possible after 2 years of ketogenic diet, and she was into sports, I don't remember which actually sport, but she lost a lot of muscle mass. She says due to low protein, or maybe she's not sure the reason for it, but also, you know, absence of carb, it means absence of insulin, so of course your muscle mass will decrease. What would you recommend to regain the muscle mass?
Yeah, behind the term ketogenic diet, for me there are a lot of stuff, especially like really high fat,
what type
protein.
of keto she did?
Yeah, exactly. We need to identify what is that kind of keto we want to follow. And if you have seizures, if you are epileptic or those stuff, yeah, you're gonna go for high fat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna go for high fat for sure. But if you want just to get shredded and trim that fat, definitely you want to minimize your fat consumption. It's necessary to consume protein in order not only to maintain our muscle tissue, but also to increase it. And since we're increasing our muscle tissue, we are increasing in our metabolism. Really important, which means that the body, I told you that I think in another live video, that more muscle tissue, it means that we are burning more calories, to say it in those terms so everybody can understand. It's really expensive for the body to keep muscle tissue. That's the reason you're gonna see athletes that they're training and they have a big frame. Suddenly, when they stop training and battle, they're losing this muscle tissue. Why is happening that? It's not only because they're taking some certain, as we said, the steroid supplements and those stuff. It's because the body doesn't need. It's very expensive for the body to hold as muscle tissue, and it's way much better to reduce muscle tissue and have a low cost maintenance. You understand? So in order to reverse that, is we need to exercise, to have resistance training, and after that to eat a lot of protein. We want high protein, and we found in all those wonderful, I would say, studies. I made a video again, in the Greek video.
Yes, another subject.
There were in English all those studies, because I don't trust anything in Greek. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay, for now. But when you start doing studies,
yeah, I will. That high protein will be able to reverse and put in remission what we had pre-diabetes
and insulin
resistance. Exactly.
So guys, high protein diet. If any of you is interested to read this study, we can give you a link. It's very easy to understand the
Actually, I have 3 studies. One is for elite athletes.
Wrote it really nicely and simply, like everybody can understand. There are not many scientific terms. You can understand what they want to say. High protein diets were all the time giving the same result when it comes to insulin resistance. So high protein, moderate fat, and very low carbohydrates will definitely result in fixing any problem you have with insulin resistance.
And when we're talking about athletes, because the question it was from an ex-athlete, they have always, as an athlete, we're obsessed with our body composition. So we know that the scale when it says 200 pounds, for example, it's not the same when I have 200 pounds and this is 80% muscle tissue, for example, 220 pounds is 100 kilos. Okay. So we need to see the ratio of muscle tissue to adipose tissue, ups and downs to understand, because there are other factors like the bone mass and blah blah blah, water retention, yeah, all those stuff. So, but ups and downs to understand that the scale. That's usually you shouldn't be obsessed with the scale. Cannot have all those indications that we need to take under consideration in order to have a complete image of a person. That's the reason I told you DEXA scan, again a body comp, is a test that you can perform and see what's going on. What is maybe your muscle tissue, your adipose tissue, and all those factors. Also, the same is happening when they're asking me about the doctor has prescribed me statins. What I need to do is make a coronary calcium score test. It's applies the same rule. You have an image of what's going on. Nobody can tell you anything after that. If you're going to have high cholesterol and high LDL, of course you're going to have high cholesterol and high LDL because you're consuming fat. The exams, the blood exams, all those indications and ratios is for the regular diet, for the normal diet that everybody consumes high carb, low fat. You are not doing that. Then the exams, they're gonna fool you. Of course, they're gonna fool you. You have high cholesterol, you need statins. No, I don't eat statins. I'm eating my lamb. So that's the reason I have high cholesterol. And I will not die because I'm eating lamb. You're gonna die if you're gonna pack this lamb into 2 pieces of bread. That's the difference.
That's a huge difference. So don't blame the lamb for what bread did to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Paula says, my husband healed his severe type 2 diabetes after 2 years eating high protein diet, moderate fat, almost carnivore diet. He's a living proof. I would like to say happy anniversary to you and your husband. Tomorrow is your anniversary. What a beautiful date for anniversary, winter solstice. It's the new beginning, the beginning of new cycle, and always a positive cycle. So happy anniversary to you and Al. And this is a great comment. Actually, we are happy to share this with all Ketonians. Yes, high protein diets such as carnivore diet or Keto Mediterranean diet are helping, and now it's also scientifically
People are
proven.
terrified of high protein. Terrified. I don't understand.
Especially, they say high protein will damage the kidneys. Please cover this subject.
No, this cannot happen. There isn't the proof that can damage the kidneys. And plus, we're not consuming lean protein. This is another factor. People usually, this is a bro science that we're hearing around the gym. You know, it's going to happen gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis can happen from another 5-6 things. Even ketones can create gluconeogenesis. Body is going to do gluconeogenesis no matter what. Will not ask you. It's going to just do it because it needs it. If it doesn't need it, it will not do it. It will not get these proteins or glycerol or whatever it wants to utilize to make gluconeogenesis. That's the difference. People, they're obsessed, since they're eating a ketogenic diet, they don't have carbohydrate to blame, they have to blame now protein. Protein should be a step up from fat, because we said ketosis is the metabolic state, not the presence of fat, but the absence of carbohydrates. Less carbs, more you are in ketosis. More carbs, you are less.
Out of ketosis.
Yeah, out of ketosis, exactly.
But it's not
You are
necessary
somewhere
to
in
be
between.
constantly in deep ketosis, especially it's not necessary for people who are doing it just for
I would say it's okay
fat
to be
loss.
nutritional ketosis, and that's it. Usually with my clients, I don't want to put them again. I want to take away this terror. To terrorize people, it's super easy. Pharma is doing it, food industry is doing it, everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. To terrorize people is super easy. You don't need something special. But in order to understand that, A, I don't have to count calories, I don't have to count macros, I don't have to take supplements, nor drugs. What I have to do, to be careful and to consume food that will not influence my blood glucose, my insulin, and they're going to provide me satiety. the fat that I'm going to utilize will not be 2 tablespoons of butter and coconut oil into my coffee. It's going to be a really fatty steak with some salad. Why not? Why? You don't have to go carnivore. Eat your salad with a little bit extra virgin olive oil. And that's it. You want a second meal. Make some omelets, some muffins with eggs. Put a little bit salmon, wild salmon.
When we say muffins, we mean flourless.
Flour, just the egg.
Like it's an omelette with, you can add some things which you...
Yeah, I'm not talking about nut-based muffins.
Exactly. You can just bake them in the muffin molds and have a little bit different.
But you see, muffins, immediately something sweet, something with nut-based, with chocolates, and that. They led us always to go to the wrong direction. And that I talked today, that the addiction of sugar and all those stuff create this world to exist. But it's not in any, that exactly I said in my Greek video, that there isn't in any magical nutritional plan or in any food. It's all here, it's all psychological. Since you're gonna solve that thing and you say, yes, I can do it, I'm bigger than this, then you're gonna succeed, you're gonna make it. You don't need sugar, you don't need all this rubbish to consume. You need some equality for yourself because you want to be healthy for you, for your family. Why to die young? Because you want to eat margarine and all those low quality foods just to have a happy moment and after that to crash.
These are not real happiness, actually.
Yeah.
Happiness is when we receive a message from a Ketonian telling us that after a year or maybe 6 months of keto, they finally sleep better, they don't have the mood swings, they think better, they can learn or study or maybe perform some work tasks, or even have a healthier relationship in the family. Doesn't matter, with a husband, with a daughter, with anybody, like their parents or whatever relationship there could exist. And this is a true happiness, when you heal on all aspects of your existence and when you are able actually to think about your life as something which was given to you as a gift, and you need to treasure this gift, and you need to live the best and do the best for yourself, and after that for those around you that you love and that maybe depend on you. And this is especially important for parents. If you have a child and if you are a bad example to this child, obesity is okay, it's okay to take 1 million pills, it's okay to go every week to the doctor, it's okay to feel sleepy all day and tired, and it's okay to sit in front of the TV and constantly just watch some irrelevant shows or those Big Brother shows, etc.
Yeah.
Then you are giving an extremely bad example to this child. You cannot expect a lot from such a child. So if you want those that depend on you to be good and to be healthy, and if you want only the best for them, of course you will first take care of yourself. You will be healthy, you will be an example of a person which is giving. And by giving, I mean you are inspiring. And to inspire somebody, you just have to be kind to yourself. Heal yourself, and then everything else will fall into a right spot. So
Exactly.
we have another comment from Lupe. Lupe says, sometimes I get really discouraged because I feel I do a lot to feel better. Paula knows that I do my best and I'm still having a lot of pain and inflammation. I stopped dairy, I'm doing almost carnivore. This is, you have to be a little bit patient. For example, I spoke to Paula today and she said that you are doing a little bit of yogurt still, which is cow's yogurt. In your condition, Lupita, you must be 6 months out of any dairy. Even goat, even sheep, you need to be 6 months out of dairy, and then you will be able slowly to bring back those treats, bring back small amounts of cheese, small amounts of yogurt or whatever else you like from dairy, or to make a treat with it, to make a keto dessert, etc. So patience is important here. You must not fall for at least 6 months out of all carnivore, zero carb, or a very strict KMD, which is a therapeutical program. So please do listen to Paula, whatever she recommends you. I'm quite sure that she wants only the best for you. So yes, dairy
I think a carnivore
is not a friend to anybody having inflammation, fighting with inflammation, but it's reversible. This is important. This doesn't mean that you will never eat dairy. It just means that you need to heal.
A carnivore semester, and that's it. You solve the problem after that.
Pita says, okay, Darlene says, me too. Yeah, Darlene is another example. High protein. This is really great news. And people who have been talking against high protein now finally have been...
But please have some variety. Just don't eat just meat. Introduce fish. Introduce seafood.
Okay,
Snails.
Darlene,
Eggs.
Darlene
all
is
those
allergic
stuff.
to seafood.
Okay, but
maybe some types of fish
you can
have.
find ways to introduce things into your
Eggs are great source of
KMD.
protein.
Yeah, you can play with those ingredients. You don't have to eat internals, offals generally. You have to. We said it's not just okay. A steak, it's amazing. Ribeye is amazing, but you have to consume other kind of proteins. Also, you're giving that variety. It will not get boring if you're gonna just eat steak.
Yeah, of course. That's why there are recipes. There are great recipes, but you have to be a little bit critical. See the recipe. If it looks good and it appears great in those photos, there are blogs that you wouldn't believe that things are keto. I mean, okay, we have good photos, but there are photos which are pro level. But when I go and read ingredients, there's always xanthan gum, there's loads of almond flour, there's loads of other artificial ingredients, and loads of cow's dairy, which is usually not organic, especially if people say just Philadelphia cheese. What? Philadelphia is the worst type of cream cheese. If you read the label, and I invite any of you, next time you go to the supermarket, take this cheese and just read the ingredients, and you will understand what we are talking about.
Yeah, so, it's really important. Yeah, again, guys, I'm sorry. My cat eats more KMD than some people who are doing keto diet. My cat, I will never give to this animal to eat Philadelphia cheese. Not even if I will throw it, and I'm gonna let her hungry.
I actually remember you throwing something. It wasn't Philadelphia, it was mascarpone with carragina.
Yeah, I don't know how...
the producer changed the formula. They started adding carragina and they never had it before. Apollon just literally took a kilo of this expensive cream cheese.
I don't care if it cost $1 million, I would just throw it away. Not give it to the cat, to nobody. This is, for me, a poison.
This is the approach to life, to healing. You want only the best for you. You know those people who are, for example, there are people when they're wearing clothes. They don't have a lot of clothes, but they have extremely expensive. For example, my father was like this. He only loved cashmere, silk, and cotton. He wouldn't buy anything else. But he didn't have a lot of clothes. He wanted only the best for himself. Why I'm telling you this should be your philosophy when it comes to ingredients, what you bring to your kitchen. Only the best. Doesn't matter how much it costs. You will have less of it, but you will have only the best. This is the approach. This is the approach.
This is an investment. It's not, you're not spending your money, you are investing the money. Because you will not utilize it later, the same amount to spend for hospitals, doctors, drugs, this, that. You're gonna be way much healthier, and you're gonna utilize, invest those amounts for quality meat, fish, eggs, seafood if you can, as we said. Snails, why not? I'm talking about snails because nobody's eating snails.
You love them?
I love them, it's my favorite food.
One would think you're French.
Yeah,
Hello.
Hello.
But yeah, it's a tradition in Greece, especially northern Greece. A lot of recipes for.
And Crete has unique, the island of Crete, they have unique recipes. I love
They're
it.
scallops, so they're great.
Yeah,
they
all
are great
those. And now you have your other ingredients. Maybe you want to sauerkraut, all those fermented foods, especially now during winter. A lot of probiotics and prebiotics for your probiotics.
Okay,
so
say the difference. Many Ketonians don't know the difference between probiotic and prebiotic. So what are these?
Probiotics are the bacteria, the good bacteria, because there are, and of course, the bad bacteria like Escherichia coli and all those stuff that we need in order to function properly our digestive system. And the prebiotics is the fiber that they are consuming that we cannot digest in order to maintain a healthy digestive tract. So by consuming probiotics, for example, from all those yogurts and maybe fermented
vegetables,
pickled eggs,
eggs,
all those stuff that we're consuming, and we're putting prebiotics through other foods that we're consuming that have this kind of fiber, or salads or veggies generally. And even some fruits like berries, raspberries, they have prebiotics inside, for example.
Sea also has a lot.
Exactly. All those stuff, they're going to eat this small fiber, the prebiotics, the probiotics, and they're going to maintain a healthy microbiome.
Prebiotics are the food for probiotics. Probiotics are
your
your friends living in your gut, and they are healing you, and they are actually commanding and organizing your immune system. So you want them to have good food, the same like you want to have good food. They are microorganisms and they do need.
But you don't have to overdo it with that, guys. Yeah,
of
let's
course,
be honest.
not too
You're
much.
gonna have side effects. You're gonna have diarrhea, bloating.
For some people is not good. So only if you don't have problem with fiber, yes, prebiotic. But just a small salad, fermented salad, like a couple of pickles, couple of tablespoons of sauerkraut will fix this need. Al says hi. Hello, Al, and thank you for your nice compliment. Darlene says, I have to make pickled eggs. She loves them. Yes, they are awesome. You can make them with quail eggs, but you can also make them with hen eggs or duck eggs, which you just brought from the farm. So here's a great idea what to make. This is a great approach to healing.
Especially quail eggs.
Of course, she cannot find quail eggs, but she can order them online.
Personally, I love pickled quail eggs. I would eat way much easier.
I'm going to make them for you. He loves them, and they're really nutritious. They're keeping you so well fed for hours. For example, it was summer. We were supposed to go on a small road trip. So we had quail eggs, pickled quail eggs before, and after that we didn't want to eat anything. For hours and hours we felt well fed.
So good.
It was great, yes. So, guys, we've been live for 56 minutes now.
Yeah, an hour. I see it's almost 7 o'clock.
Yeah, almost an hour. And now we would like to invite you to send us questions, send us whatever you have, a comment, or if you would like a specific subject answered to you by certified nutritional therapist here, or a foodie here. So I don't want to call myself chef. I'm not a chef, but I'm a foodie, so I love cooking, baking, and I used to love it even before keto. And I was doing all those things much easier because, it's easier to bake with starch.
Yeah, to manipulate those recipes.
Gluten, full of gluten ingredients, but now I'm still finding the way to ketonize something, to make it look good and taste good, and on top of all of these, to be good for me, to be good for Apollonas and anybody who's going to eat with us. So we are taking care of 3 things: how it tastes, how it looks, but most importantly, how it's actually influencing our health. And we don't have, Robert sends me 2 eggs almost every day here. That's important to do it whenever you can. At least 3 eggs per day, don't do less than that.
Yeah, I get actually very often that question about eggs, how many eggs, how many eggs, how many eggs.
Nobody's afraid of eggs more than Greeks. Greeks are so afraid of eggs.
They can drink whatever you can imagine, from whiskeys,
Coca-Cola,
this, that, alcohol, whatever it takes, they can smoke. They could eat chips, fast food, McDonald's, drink loads of sugar, and they are afraid that they're going to die from eggs.
Instant coffee, etc.
Yeah.
But the eggs are a problem.
I told you that they pushed us in a certain direction. They know what they're doing. They have really strong marketing. This is the key. Have strong marketing and really poor quality products. That's it. You're managing to terrify the people that they need your product. You have the solution. Because when you are selling a product which is full of sugar and something which is light, and you say it's supposedly is healthier than this, why then you keep selling the other one which has loads of sugar inside? Because you have clients and you are making enormous profits because the other people don't understand yet, let's say it in a kind way, that they are harming their health.
Luba says, I can eat eggs in every meal. That's great. That's a great approach. Eggs will do a lot of...
I'm eating almost per day
chilling
10 to 12 eggs. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, I will eat 10 to 12 eggs.
Today we had fish broth which was thickened by quail eggs, and it was awesome.
And I'm gonna eat later another probably octate, I would call it. Octate of eggs. I'm gonna call it like the...
That's an interesting twist.
That's an interesting with feta cheese.
Okay guys, our Christmas live or winter solstice live or the winter festivity live is almost finished. We didn't receive any questions, we didn't receive any comments. Maybe you are receiving this late or your comments are late. So we're gonna wish happy Christmas to each and every Ketonian.
Happy Christmas guys, always to wish health, number one, health. To you and your loved ones, and try to be positive, really positive. Yeah, I think positive vibes and think positive about it. I hope that we're gonna solve finally all this which is happening to this sphere in our galaxy. Yeah, I don't know. And that's it. Help other people, as I told you many times. This is what actually is gonna make you feel good. Help other people, even if you think that they don't need your help. Be kind, help other people, and it's gonna
everything will
come back to you for
sure. We promise you that we will be publishing more content on Greek Goes Keto, but what we would like to hear from you is any type of question, any type of support you need, you can send to Greek Goes Keto at gmail.com. You can follow us on all social media. If you think that we are doing a good job, you can become one of our patrons. You can support us, and this way you will help Greek Goes Keto grow both on social media but also our website to be maintained properly. So we thank all our patrons. We appreciate your help a lot, and we will always find a way to thank you even more. So have a blessed holidays, have a lot of love, and think about going Keto Mediterranean to the full potential. So, as always,
stay ketonized, guys.
To the full potential, and always
positive.
I'm going to finish the live now. You are in a frame, and we will.
We're gonna see you next Sunday.
All the best.